What are you gonna be for Halloween? What are you gonna be for Halloween?
Astronaut.
Oh man, I should have known that. What are you gonna be?
Astronauts. We're twins.
You gonna be astronaut twins?
Yeah.
Have twins ever gone into outer space?
She has an orange suit. I have a white one.
Are you gonna share that one?
This helmet?
Are you gonna share the suit?
No.
No.
We have our own suit. But I have a helmet. I have mine. You should
You have a
have,
helmet
you
too?
should have just recognized the astronaut next to it.
I know, I was just joking. Who put this here?
I do.
Is it you?
I know what I'm going to be for Halloween.
What are you gonna be?
A mermaid.
A mermaid. How you gonna walk?
Yes! It's like a dress. It's like a big dress that we can pick up, and it has like things in the back for me to walk.
Oh, good. Well, how you gonna swim?
It's not for real. I have a mermaid swim tail, but it's not for Halloween.
Okay. It's for like really swimming?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you do it? Yeah.
It's hard. I have to keep my feet together and just splash around the water.
Wow. Does it make you go faster or slower? So what are we all here for anyway?
Story time!
Story time. How you doing? Who's coming for stories?
I am.
And what kind of stories should we tell tonight? Halloween stories? Yeah, you said scary. Jordan?
I'm not sure you should tell.
What story should I tell?
Headless Horseman.
The Headless Horseman. Oh, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I want everybody to sleep tonight, right?
No!
No?
No!
You don't want?
One that you should do the whole time. A dark and stormy night.
Oh, we'll save that
You
one.
should do that one.
We'll save that one.
Oh, no, that's
I promise you. That's, Bryce, that's tradition that we tell that one.
crazy.
All right. You're going to be a ladybug in pajamas?
Okay, Scar's gonna be
And what are you going to be? A ninja.
Evan's gonna be somebody from the Red Sox.
From the, which one from the Red Sox? Mookie Betts. Good one. Good one. Who else? Who else is going to be something? Who else wants to share what they're going to be for Jordan? What are you going to be?
I'm gonna be Lori Hernandez.
Lori Hernandez.
No one knows who that is.
No, I doubt anybody knows who that is. Right? What are you going to be, Bryce?
I doubt anyone will know who this is either. Harry Potter.
Never heard of him.
I just got the first one. I've heard
What are you going to be?
my brother.
You're not sure yet?
Harry Potter.
Me either.
I have
Me either. What are you going to be? Minnie Mouse? What are you going to be? A fireman. What's Brock going to be?
Ask him.
Ask him. Where is he? He's not in here. I don't see him.
My sister is either being Hedwig or Crane.
And Connor, what are you going to be?
Baseball player.
What's that?
Baseball player.
Oh. Mookie Betts?
No.
No.
Ben Kennedy.
All right. Should we tell some stories? Or should I tell some stories?
Yeah.
I should tell stories?
Yeah.
All right.
Can I tell a story?
Maybe. Hi, Bren. No, I think you would never come to my stories anymore. All right, let's see. I'll tell you one story, and then maybe I'll take a request. Has anyone ever heard me tell a story before?
Uh-huh. I have. It was easy. It was on the bus on a field trip.
Oh. I didn't tell the bus story, did I?
Yes. He was like,
All right, let's see. I will tell you, and I noticed that there are some of my older friends here, which is awesome, because they're old enough now that they can tell stories. So I'm going to tell you guys a story, and this is one that they could tell too, like when you ever have a sleepover, right? So let's see. I will tell you
oh, I've got a really good one.
about this. Bryce, you can tell me yours afterwards, all right? So there's this girl, and she was right around fourth, fifth grade, maybe sixth grade, and she had been begging her parents for a long time for her to be able to stay home by herself. And, you know, for years, her parents were like, no, you're not old enough, you'd get scared. And she's like, no. So she got to fifth grade, and she was begging and begging and begging and begging. And they said, no. And then finally, she got to sixth grade. And she begged and begged and begged and begged again. And finally, guess what they said? They said yes. They got her a cell phone. They said, if there's any problems, we're going to go out, we're going to have dinner. Any problems, you give us a call. Right? And she said, oh yeah, it's fine. And they bought her some popcorn. So she had some Jiffy popcorn. And she sat down, went downstairs, and she watched herself a movie. And it turned out that it was a scary movie. Now, while she's eating her popcorn, watching the scary movie, what do you think she looked like? What do you look like when you watch a scary movie? Show me. Who does this? Who does this?
This is what you should do.
Who does this?
My mom does this and I don't.
Who does this? This is what I do. Well, she watches the whole movie, and she's so thrilled with herself. So she turns the TV off, and as soon as she turned the TV off, she heard a noise coming from somewhere. And it went, rap, rap, rap. She stopped. She said, what is that noise? Where's it coming from? So she walked up out of the basement and she listened. And again, she heard rap, rap, rap. And she said, oh, it does kind of sound like a frog, but it's not. So she went upstairs and she listened. And she got to the top of the stairs and she heard it again, and it went rap, rap, rap. So she said, it's definitely coming from the end of the hallway. So she walked down to the end of the hallway. She opened up her bedroom door. Nothing. She listened. And she heard rap, rap, rap. So she went into her parents' room, opened the door. Nothing. Close the door. There was only one door left at the end of the hallway. It was a closet door. She opened up the closet door, and sure enough, she heard the sound even louder and clearer. Rap, rap. She looked up on the shelf and she pulled out a long box. She brought it into her room and she put it on her bed. And again she listened and she heard rap, rap, rap. And she said, it's definitely coming from in that box. So finally, she took the box and she opened it up. And when she opened it up, there, inside of the long box, was wrapping paper. Who knew?
I knew that the whole time. No, you said
You said wallpaper? That's a different story. How was that? Was that scary? No?
It's super awesome.
All right. Let's see. Let's see. That one wasn't scary? Oh, but was it a little suspenseful? Like at first, before you knew it was happening? How about the part when you jumped up? Was that scary? All right, let's see. Are you ready for another one then? Okay. All right. I said I would ask for a request. Ava?
That one where the dairy farmers.
Lazy Jack?
Yes. Oh, I have one. Can I tell one?
No, I'll tell one. No. They gave me the microphone. I'm sorry. Maybe afterwards. All right, so that's a good one. I don't know. We could make it scary, and it's kind of long. And I might have told that the last time I was here. I'm not sure. Who came the last time I was here?
You told it
All right, let's see. I will tell you guys about, let me see, what did I bring? So, I said I would do, look at all these stories. Ooh.
I know one super good. It's called The Dumb Lumberjack. Oh, I know one, but how long is that list?
All right, do you guys like stories with ghosts?
Yeah.
You do? Ghosts? All right. I just heard this story. All right, so there's this boy, and the boy, he had a dog, and he called the dog Ghost. And since you want a story about ghosts, why do you think he called the dog Ghost? Any guesses? We're gonna raise their hand and guess. Go ahead.
Because he wanted a story about ghosts.
That's a good guess, but that's not it. Has something to do with the dog. What do you think?
The ant, because he had a ghost-shaped mark on his stomach.
Ooh, that's a good one, but nope, that's not it. What do you think, Jordan?
Because it was white.
He was.
Really big black eyes.
Perfect. The dog was all white. All white. So we called him Ghost. And he and Ghost were best friends. And everywhere that boy went, Ghost would follow him. So they used to like to take long adventures, go through the woods, and they would chase squirrels. And the dog, Ghost, never caught a squirrel, but they loved the chase. Now they would go up the road. Now he lived on a farm. His dad was a farmer. And right next door to them, like way down the road, there was another farmer. And that farmer used to see him out all the time, the boy with his dog Ghost. And he used to chuckle at him because he just thought it was the greatest thing. Well, one day, Ghost and the boy, they went for a long walk. And they were walking, and they were probably doing what? What's their favorite thing to do? Chasing squirrels, right? Ghost is running after squirrels and would get so close to the squirrels, but what would the squirrel do?
Run.
It would run and do what? Hop up in the tree, scurry right up the tree. And Ghost could never catch those squirrels. Now, he's walking, and he's walking, and he's walking. And Ghost ran ahead. Now, Ghost had stopped at a tree and was kind of growling a little bit. And the boy went over, and Ghost wouldn't let the boy pass. And so, he noticed that there was something over near the rock that the dog was growling at. So he went to go around the rock, and nope, Ghost wouldn't let him go over there. So finally, he stepped back, and when he looked, he could see over the rock, and sure enough, it was a black snake all coiled up and its tail was going. Anybody know what kind of snake that was?
I saw one of those.
Yeah, rattlesnake.
Easy.
The dog, what was his name? Ghost, had saved the boy. And the boy was happy. So that night they went home, he thanked Ghost, he said, I'll wake up, I'll see you in the morning. Well, the boy got up in the morning and Ghost was not there. He wasn't there. So he went downstairs and he said, Dad, I'm looking at heavy. He was going, Ghost, Ghost, Ghost.
It's a library.
No ghost. Yeah, but it's okay. They told me I can come here and make noise. Only if I'm telling stories. Should I whisper? Okay. Okay. Well,
You should do your loudest voice.
anyway, his dad told him, and this is the sad part, that Ghost had gotten really, really old. He was an old dog. And said when he woke up in the morning, Ghost was not moving. And Ghost had passed. And the boy was very, very sad. And weeks went by, and months went by, and the boy was very lonely. And he would take long walks without Ghost. And, well, it was about a month went by, and the boy decided he was really missing Ghost. He was going to go for a long walk. So he was walking, and he was walking, and he was walking, and he was walking, walking, farther than he had ever walked before. And he came to this like ravine, and he was walking on the edge of the ravine when a rock gave way, and he fell, and he landed on a ledge. And he had fell so far that he hurt his leg, and he was trying to climb back up. And because his leg was hurt, he couldn't. So he started yelling for help. He said, help! Somebody help me! Anybody help me! And he was so far away from anybody that nobody could hear him. Now, he was about a mile away from, remember that old farmer who lived down the road from him? Well, that farmer was on his farm, and he's working, and he was on his tractor going through the cornfield. Well, all of a sudden, he looked, and he saw something run through his cornfield. It was white. He was like, huh. So he kept driving the tractor, and all of a sudden, right out in front of the tractor, there was Ghost barking at the farmer. Woo, 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 woo. And well, you know, he just looked at Ghost and said, oh, and turned the tractor, and he went to keep driving. But nope, Ghost ran in front of the tractor. Woo, 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 woo. Wouldn't let him go. So he got down off of his tractor, and Ghost started pulling on his shirt. He's like, what is it? What's going on? Well, he decided that Ghost was trying to tell him something. He wanted him to follow him. So he did. He started following the dog. And Ghost brought him way, way, way out into the woods. And he's like, what are you bringing me out here for? Well, all of a sudden, the dog ran behind a tree. The farmer went, looked behind the tree, and he was gone. He was like, huh, where did that dog go? Well, all of a sudden, the farmer heard a noise. He heard, help! Somebody help me! Somebody help me! And sure enough, he goes over, he looks down in the ravine, and what does he see? The boy. The boy. So he helped the boy, pulled the boy up, because he had a rope with him. You know farmers carry ropes? Yeah. Had a rope with him, threw the rope down, helped the boy, pulled the boy up. And the boy was so grateful to him. He said, thank you. He said, I thought I called forever and ever. I didn't think anybody would hear me out here. And he's like, I wouldn't have heard you if it wasn't for your good old dog. And he's like, huh? What do you mean? He says, yeah, your dog Ghost, he brought me out here. And the boy was like, well, that's impossible because Ghost passed away a month ago.
He was sleeping.
Is that the strangest story you've ever heard?
No, that's just weird.
No?
I want to tell Mom. It's super awesome.
No, Bryce, you know what, Bryce? I think you're good. You've done your talking for the night, right? Are you ready to listen now? Okay. Let's do some listening. All right. Let's see. Ooh. You guys want some really scary stuff? Are you sure? All right. All right, here we go. Now. Hey, Bryce, we're not going to say that word anymore. Okay? We're done with that word. If you want to say it, you can go outside in the library. And if you want to stay for story, you need to sit and listen, because that's why you're here. All right, because I know you, Bryce, and you're a good kid, so you do some good listening. You've always listened well to my stories. Okay, now, are we ready? All right. So, there was this girl, and this girl was very easily annoyed. And well, should I tell this one? All right. Well, one time, did I tell you about her brothers? No. Did I? Oh, yeah. She's got an older brother. She's got a younger brother. And her younger brother really, really annoys her. And he would always sit in front of the TV. When he sat in front of the TV, he'd get his big head in front of the TV, and she couldn't see. But she knew she had to be polite, right? But she was annoyed already. But she said, could you please move your head out of the way so I could see the TV? And being her younger brother, you know what he did? He ignored her. So now she's really annoyed, and she said, will you move your big fat head out of the way so I can see the TV? And being her little brother, guess what? He ignored her. So she decided she was going to do her most favorite thing in the whole wide world, and that was to scare her little brother. So while he was watching TV, she snuck up behind him. When she got right behind him, she went, boom! And he went, jumped up so high that he hit his head on the ceiling. And boom, he got a lump on top of his head. But guess what? He landed right back down in front of the TV. Now she couldn't see even more because of the lump on his head. So again, she snuck up behind him. Tiptoe. Boom! He's got 2 lumps. Well, she did this to him about 5 times that night. And he went to bed with how many lumps on his head? 5 lumps on his head. So, he went to bed, her older brother, mom and dad went to bed, she went to bed. And there she was laying in bed when she heard at the window. She goes over the window. She looks outside the window. Outside the window was this hideous looking creature. It had long, dark, scraggly hair. It had 3 huge noses. And on the end of each nose was a big, fat, juicy wart with a greasy piece of hair sticking out of it. Oh. Well, she looked down, it looked up at her, opened up the window and said to her, would you like to know what I like to do with my long red fingernails and my big red lips? And she went, no! And she ran, jumped in her bed, threw the covers over her head, and she fell asleep. Woke up the next morning, forgot about that hideous creature. She went to school the next day. Everybody at school annoyed her. She went to recess. You annoy me, you annoy me, you annoy me, you really annoy me. Everybody annoyed her. She got home, and there she sat down at the supper table with her older brother. Did her older brother annoy her? Of course he did. It's her older brother. So she decided she's going to do her second most favorite thing to do in the whole wide world, and that was to make her older brother puke. So she looked around for her mom and dad, and she grabbed a great big handful of green peas, and she put them in her mouth. And she started to chew them until they got all goopy, goppy green. And she tapped her older brother on the shoulder. And you turned around and said, "What do you want, Pipsqueak?" And she went, "Ah!" And he ran straight for the bathroom. Got there just in time.
And barked.
Yeah. Well, he came out of the bathroom and he said, "I'm going to bed." So he went to bed. Her little brother went to bed. Mom and Dad went to bed. She went to bed. And there she was, laying in her bed. When again she heard coming from the window. She went to the window. She looked outside the window. What was it?
The weird
That hideous looking creature. Do you remember what it looks like? It has long, dark, scraggly hair. It has 3 huge noses. And on the end of each nose was a big, fat, juicy wart with a greasy piece of hair sticking out of it. Ugh. She looked down, the hideous creature looked up at her, opened up the window and said to her, "Do you want to know what I like to do with my long red fingernails and my big red lips?" No! Out again. This time she slid underneath her bed. She stayed up all night thinking about that hideous creature. She went to breakfast. She got on the bus. She was unusually quiet on the bus. She got to school. She was unusually quiet. She got to recess. And boy, was she annoyed. "You annoy me, you annoy me, you annoy me, you really annoy me." She took the bus home. She got home. There she was at the supper table again with Mom and Dad. So she decided she's going to do her third most favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. That was to make her parents be impolite at the supper table. So she said, "Mom and Dad." And they said, "Yes, dear." And she said, "I bet that I can make you be impolite at the supper table." And they said, "Oh, honey, we would never, ever be impolite, especially to you, especially at the supper table." And she said, "Come on, I'll bet you $10. I'll bet you $10 that I can make you be impolite at the supper table." Okay, we will bet you $10 that you cannot make us be impolite at the supper table. And she said, "All right, are you ready?" And they said, "We're ready." She said, "All right, I have a riddle." And they said, "Well, what is the riddle?" And she said, "Okay, here it is. Pete and Repeat were sitting on a fence, and Pete jumped off. Who was left?"
Nobody.
Repeat. Okay, Pete and Repeat sitting on a fence. Pete jumped off. Who was left? Repeat. Okay, Pete and Repeat sitting on a fence. Pete jumped off. Who was left? Okay, Pete and Repeat sitting on a fence. Pete jumped off. Who was left? Okay, Pete and Repeat sitting on the fence. Pete jumped off. Who was left? Okay, Pete and Repeat sitting on the fence. Pete jumped off. Who was left? Okay, Pete and Repeat sitting on the fence. Shut up, said her parent. Was that impolite? Absolutely. You never ever say that. Well, but get this. They both reached into their pocket and they both gave her $10 each. Right? How much does she have? 20 bucks. So her parents, they were pretty annoyed. They went to bed. Her brother went to bed. Her little brother went to bed. And she went to bed. And there she was, laying in her bed, when again she heard at the window. She goes over to the window. She looks outside. What is it? That hideous creature. You remember what it looked like?
Yeah.
It has long, dark, scraggly hair. It has 3 huge noses, and on the end of each nose was a big, fat, juicy wart with a greasy piece of hair sticking out of it. She looks up. She looks down. The hideous creature looks up at her, opens up the window, and said, Do you want to know what I like to do with my long red fingernails and my big red lips? Now she was annoyed. She was very annoyed. And she said, that is it. That is it. I can't take it anymore. I told you the other night, I don't want to know what you do with your long red fingernails and your big red lips. I told you last night, I don't want to know what you do with your long red fingernails and your big red lips. So what is it? What is it that you do with your long red fingernails and your big red lips? Well, that hideous creature looked up and brought his long red fingernails up to his big red lips and went, because you jumped.
No, I did not.
Could you guys tell that story? Oh, you could tell that story. You could tell. That wasn't so bad, was it?
No, it was super bad.
No. All right. I meant scary. Was that scary?
No.
No? All right. You want the scariest?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You want the scariest?
Oh. Better not tell a Dylan Witness one. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's a dark and stormy night. It's so bad.
Well, once there was this old couple, and the old couple had lived together for a long time. They were married for a very long time. Now, the old woman, she had a golden arm. And she was very proud of her golden arm. And every day, she would go by the fireplace, she'd open up a box, she'd get out a little rag, and she would shine her golden arm. And she'd always say to her husband, she'd say, honey, if you ever pass before me, you make sure that I get buried with my golden arm. And he, oh, of course, honey, of course. Well, time passed, and sure enough, she passed. And just as he said, he decided that he would bury her with her golden arm. So he got home that night, and he was very sad, and he missed his wife. And he was sitting by the fire, was whittling away on a piece of wood with a knife. And then he started thinking about that golden arm. And he thought, you know, if I had that golden arm, I could get me a pretty nice house with that golden arm. And he's thinking some more, and he started thinking and said, boy, you know, if I had that golden arm, I could probably get myself 4 new white horses. Pull my wagon. He's like, whew. But he keeps whittling away, and he's thinking, and he's thinking, and he's thinking. Well, and he started thinking, boy, if I had that golden arm, I could probably get myself one of those fancy cars. So then he got an idea that he would go down and he would get that golden arm back. So he did. Went down, took the golden arm back, and started walking home with it. Well, as he's walking home, it got darker, and the wind started blowing. And then the clouds came over the full moon and covered the full moon, and it got darker. And the wind blew. Well, he got home, and he put that golden arm up on the mantle. He opened up the box and took out the rag, and he started shining it up. Well, all of a sudden, he started hearing a voice. And the voice went, who has my golden arm? Who's that? Who said that? He looked around, looked out the window, didn't see anything but darkness. And he thought, somebody come to steal my golden arm. So he took the golden arm and put it in the closet. Went back to work, whittling away. When all of a sudden, again, through the wind, he heard that voice again saying, "Who has my golden arm?" He said, "I heard it again." So this time he went into the closet, grabbed the golden arm, put it in the bed with him. And again he heard that voice coming from outside. "Who has my golden arm?" Well, now he was really, but this isn't scary, right? No. Well, all of a sudden, he heard the door open up in his house because he's hiding under the covers. And then he heard the voice again say, "Who has my golden arm?" Well, he was really scared now. And then he heard footsteps going across the floor. And then again he heard, "Who has my golden arm?" Well, he had his covers over him, right? The voice was right next to his bed. And this time it whispered, "Who has my golden arm?" You do!
That did not scare me.
What? That wasn't scary either?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's easy.
I don't know. That's easy. It was his wife.
She had the golden puppy.
She wanted it back.
Well, she was buried.
Oh.
And she died.
Whoa.
Was she dead?
No, she was a dog. A white one.
That was Ghost. The other story.
Oh, right. I'm getting my stories confused. All right, let's see.
I want to tell stories. Can I tell stories?
Who wants to help me tell a story?
No.
Who's going to go trick-or-treating? I'll tell this one quick. All right, here we go. So, one time, I'll tell you about my good friend. His name was Earl Wolf. And we got to go trick-or-treating for the first time by ourselves. Well, we had a great time, me and Earl Wolf. He was dressed as like, what was he? He was a werewolf. And I was a vampire, right? And we had a great time. We got big old bags of candy. Well, we're on our way home, and Earl said, because we were out for a long time, Earl said, "Kurt, let's take a shortcut." And I said, "All right, what shortcut were you going to take?" He said, "Oh, we'll cut through the graveyard." I said, "Oh, the graveyard?" He said, "Yeah, I do it all the time." I said, "Okay." So we were cutting through the graveyard. We got our big bags of candy, and we're walking. All of a sudden, I heard a noise, kind of like, I was like, "Earl, what was that?" He's like, "What? You didn't hear that noise?" He said, "No, I didn't hear any noise." So we kept walking, and again I heard, and I said, "Earl, I definitely heard something that time." Well, we looked behind us, and sure enough, following us through the graveyard, there was a coffin.
What's a coffin? A coffin is like,
It's what they put vampires in.
Yeah.
Well, it's following us through the graveyard. We walked, and we heard,
That's not
it's
true.
like a box. It's like,
Oh.
I said, "Earl, that coffin is following us." He said, "But that's impossible." And I said, "Let's get out of here." So we ran through the graveyard. And sure enough, the coffin started following us. So we ran out of the graveyard and we kept running.
Okay.
And we stopped and we turned around. And we looked at the gate, and sure enough, coffin came out of the gate and started following us down the sidewalk. So we ran and we ran and we ran. Hey, that's for sitting on. And we ran, and as fast as we ran, it kept following us down the road. I said, Earl, we're never gonna make it back. This coffin is gonna get us. He's like, no, come on, follow me. So we ran, we ducked behind a car, and the coffin went right past us. We're like, phew. So we started walking back toward his house when all of a sudden, it started coming after us again. So we ran and we ran and we ran. So I said, Earl, it's catching up. So he said, follow me. So we ran through some backyards. We jumped over a fence and we heard. And it kept following us. So finally, we got to the end of the road, and that's where Earl's house was. So we ran as fast as we could. Earl got out the key to his house, and he tried to get the key in the doorknob. And I turned around and I said, look, the coffin is coming. Hurry up, get the key in the door. He said, I'm trying, Kurt, I'm trying. So finally he got the key in the door, opened the door, got in the house, closed the door. Locked it. We looked outside, coming up Earl's walkway. Was the coffin.
Did the coffin go through the door?
Well, I'm holding the door because I saw the doorknob moving. And I said, Earl, it's trying to get in. Well, he runs upstairs. I said, where are you going? He says, I have an idea. I'll be right back. So he goes upstairs. He runs into his parents' room. He gets out a box. Inside the box is a smaller box. And I'm holding the door, and finally the door bursts open. And there's the coffin at the door. And it starts coming inside. I said, Earl, we're in trouble now. Well, Earl, he opened up the little box. And inside the little box was a cough drop. And he threw it at the coffin. And the coffin stopped.
I get it. It's a cough drop. No idea. So we threw it at the coffin because we bought, and then no one made it down.
And the coffin stopped. So this Halloween, if you ever got a problem with coffins, make sure that you bring yourself a cough drop.
What happens if you throw a cough drop
At a coffin?
Yeah.
It stops. The coffin stops.
And then it dies?
Till you get your next cold.
Can I tell a story? Please come on.
No? Think these guys gotta go home? It's getting late. Hey, you guys. If you did a good job listening to the story, give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourselves a round of applause. And have a very happy Halloween.
Can I tell a story? No.
You can tell them a dark and stormy night. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Bye. Oh, look at you guys picking up the pads. Nice job. They love helpful kids. Thank you. All right, what's your story, Jordan?
I have serious competition every night.
How you doing? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you weren't going to tell that story.
You're watching Medfield TV, community show.